Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Rtavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna, the ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, contained in the 18 chapters and showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. And now, Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramardanam Devakim Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. O son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, I bow down to you. And today we take up the 57th Shloka of the Sankhya Yoga, second Adhyay of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Sri Krishna is answering, he is addressing the doubts raised by Arjuna, that how does a person of, what is the description of a person of steady wisdom? That sthita prajñasya ka bhasha, and how does it behave in general? How does it sit? How does it talk? And all. What are these his characteristics? And Sri Krishna has already told in previous two verses of how this person, the person who is of steady wisdom, who is sthitadhi, who is samadhistha, who is sthita prajña, how he is free from all the attachments, free from fear and affection and anger and all those ripus, the six enemies of a spiritual man, of a spiritual person. Why only man? Of a spiritual person. So, raga, bhaya, krodha. He is free from them. He is not attached. He doesn't fear. He doesn't have to fear of anything. His life is so transparent. He has done nothing wrong. So there is nothing to fear. We only fear when we do something wrong. We only fear when we are not confident. We only fear when we have some kind of complexes within us. And also, that person doesn't get angry. He is such a perfect soul that there is no scope for any complexes being developed in his character to get afraid of anything, to fear anything. And also, he is such a composed person that there is no element of anger inside. So that is a person of steady wisdom. And Sri Krishna continues the description. That's why Krishna is always considered as a Jagat Guru. In our salutations to Krishna also we have said Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. We have addressed him as the supreme teacher of the universe. Just one doubt that Arjuna has asked, and Sri Krishna is elaborately answering to get rid of any doubt, any confusions, any unexplained matter on that particular subject. So Sri Krishna again continues in this 57th Shloka. How does the man of wisdom connect with the external world? Now, this is his reply. Yaha sarvatrānabhisnehas tat prāpya śhubhāśhubham nābhinandati dveṣhṭi tasya prajñā pratiṣhṭhitā. Yaha sarvatra anabhisneha. Yaha is who? And the same, the person with steady wisdom, sita prajñā. This person, yaha sarvatra anabhisneha. He is without attachment everywhere. Not only, in his own surroundings, for everything that moves around in this world, in this universe, he is unattached. In a totally detached manner, he performs his duties. He is without attachment everywhere. Yaha sarvatra anabhisneha. Sneha is attachment. Anabhisneha. No attachments. No extra love, no extra kind of, expression of that love. He is unattached. He may show love. He may show love, but in a detached manner it will be. Tomorrow if the other person starts fighting with him, he won't feel bad. No. He won't get angry. No. His dealing with the world is totally in detached manner. Tat prāpya śhubhāśhubham. Tat means that in all the instances that prāpya, having obtained, śhubhāśhubham, that having obtained detachment, he is not attached to anything in this world, and having obtained the vision of same-sightedness for śhubhā-aśhubha, for good and evil. How he reacts now? How his reaction to good and evil, his reaction to success and failure, how is it? nābhinandati, dveṣhṭi. Nābhinandati, he does not rejoice. If something good happens, fine. If something bad happens, aśhubham, what is his reaction? dveṣhṭi. He is unconcerned. He is least bothered. If something good happens, if something bad happens, he is in the same balanced state of mind. But look at us. What happens? A little good, and we start jumping up and down. Oh, wow. What a wonderful day. What a wonderful, blessing the God has bestowed upon me. Some little good happens. And if some little bad happens, we start cursing even the God. How could you do this to me? I repeat your name, I chant your name, I sing your praises, and still you have done this to me, such a bad thing. Oh, what kind of God you are? You are not a merciful God. You are not a compassionate God. No, you are not a loving God. Immediately we start abusing the God also. But a man of steady wisdom, for him, the good and evil, there is nothing to rejoice. There is nothing to be sorry about. There is nothing to hate about the bad things happening in his life. Nābhinandati, dveṣhṭi, tasya prajñā pratiṣhṭhitā. Tasya, that person is poised in wisdom. Prajñā is wisdom, intellect. Pratiṣhṭhitā, he is poised. He has firmly fixed in that steady wisdom. He who is unattached everywhere, who is not delighted at receiving good, nor dejected at coming by evil, is poised in wisdom. He is steady in wisdom. He is firm in that wisdom. This world is a mixture of good and evil. Yes. Every moment we realize that, we experience that. It is a mix of good and evil. It is a mix of joy and sorrow. It is a mix of pleasure and pain. But people who are attached to it are bound to have joy and sorrow, people who are attached to these, good and evil, they experience all these pairs of opposites. They experience joy, they also experience sorrow, they experience pleasure. The next moment of enjoying that pleasure, they get into pain. And at times even repent and oh, what I did, why I did. And they lose their calm of mind, their peace of mind. They oscillate helplessly between weal and woe. They are absolute because they are attached to the sense objects. Because they want to have that enjoyment. Now that enjoyment doesn't come only with the joy. We like sweets, fine. We eat sweets. And then we get into trouble and then we start cribbing. Oh my God, I've got acidity. We enjoy all the delicious food. We love it, yes. But in our love to enjoy that delicious food, we keep on overeating and then we'll end up in trouble and then we have to take those antacids. And then we say, oh, there is a pain in my chest. At the time of eating, I never thought so. I went on eating, I went on hogging. But that pleasure was short-lived and the pain that resulted, it was long-lasting. For throughout night, fine, I cannot sleep. I just toss up in bed. I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable. Then I get up. I take the antacid. I take some tablets. I take, and then I say, oh my God. And then I decide, next time I'm not going to do it. But come next time, again, the same thing happens. But in case of man of steady wisdom, there is nothing of this sort. He is no creature of circumstances. The jnani remains supremely above these turmoils. The Brahmajnani, one who has realized the self, one who is sthita prajñā, one who is samadhistha, one who is steady in wisdom. He is above these turmoils because he has understood the phenomenal aspect of this, the temporary aspect of all these so-called enjoyments. He is not tempted by them. He may eat sweet, he may also say, oh yes, it is good. But that's it. From his mouth come neither words of praise nor those of censure. It is not that when some good happens, he will start praising the people, praising the surroundings, praising the circumstances which has led to that positive moment in his life. And he also does not start abusing people if something bad happens. For him, for a man of steady wisdom, good happening and bad happening is a gift of God. He looks at it as a gift of God. And that's how he does not react the way an ordinary person will react. He is beyond that reaction. He is beyond that expressing his joy and sorrow. He is beyond that expressing his attachment, his good feelings, his bad feelings. No. For him, everything is same. For him, every situation is my mother's creation. That's it. This is implied answer to the question as to how Sthita Prajñā speaks. Arjuna had asked him that how does a man of firm wisdom speak? He had asked, Sthitadihi kim prabhashet? And to that, Sri Krishna now answers that part of his doubt, that question, that this is how. He neither praises, nor he hates, nor he utters bad words. So for such a person, there is no praise, no hatred, no dejection, no anger, no rejoicing, and dejection. Now, Sri Ramakrishna's teaching, almost similar to what Sri Krishna has told Arjun. Sri Ramakrishna says, "For the man who sees from the peak of the hill the tall trees, grass, ups and downs, and everything on the plains below seem alike." When we go for mountaineering, we go on top of the mountain, and then when we look down at the grounds below, what do we see? For then, when we are on the top of that mountain, in the plains below, whether it is a huge tree or just a blade of grass, the fields with the paddy in it, they all look same when we are seeing from that height. They all look same. All that in reality, that tree might be 50 feet tall compared to that maybe 1 or 1.5 feet of the crop of paddy in the from there up from the top, we all see all of them just as the same. From that viewpoint, there is no 50 feet tree or the 1 foot, 1.5 feet of that paddy crop. No, it is all same. The Brahmajnani likewise sees divinity alone in everything. Once you have reached the top, once you have had that self-realization, once we have had that all-knowing knowledge, then for us, all these things, the good and bad, the joy and sorrow, the happiness and unhappiness, the pleasure and pain, they're all same for us then. Once we reach that height, once we merge the self by the self. He makes no distinction between the good and the bad, between the superior and inferior. Yeah, because from that standpoint, that viewpoint, from that height, everything is same. There is no high, there is no low, there is no big, there is no small. There is no tall, there is no dwarf. There is no good, there is no evil. So that is how. And therefore, such a man, he never speaks, in praise of anything. He never speaks, hating anything. He doesn't speak in a positive way. He doesn't speak in a negative way. He is just silent. And then comes the stage. There is no need to speak. Why to praise somebody for the good that he has done to you? Why to start shouting at somebody who has done bad to you? Because, first of all, for you there is no good and bad. And then you look at everybody with the same sight. Why? Because you have no attachment, you have no dejection, you have no anger for anyone. For you, the person who does good and the person who does bad, both are same to you. Both are the manifestations of that ultimate reality. Then you start looking at all around as the play of the Lord, as the divine Leela of the Mother. That's what happens when we get the steadiness of the wisdom. That is what happens with a man who becomes sthita prajñā. That is what a sthita prajñā behaves. That is how a samadhista speaks. So that is our today's reading from the Bhagavad Gita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ram Krishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swami.